So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I hacked the female gaze on Hinge. Now, you probably have heard about the female gaze, and we're gonna break down exactly what that is, but I have truly never seen any other person, yet alone a dating coach, get this comment from a woman on Hinge. She said, best female gaze Hinge profile. Keep in mind, this was 20 minutes after I set up my new Hinge account. So in this video, we're gonna completely break down how I applied this in my pictures, in my prompts, and how you can actually do the same. Now, first, let's break down what the female gaze is versus the male gaze. And it's fairly simple to understand. The hardest part is actually putting it into action. However, if you don't know, the female gaze is simply understanding female psychology and what they find attractive. It also elicits positive emotions because we all know that women are emotional people. And so ideally, something that has a female gaze to it is going to spark some positive emotion. Also, the female gaze just tends to have a softer vibe. It's not rough. It's not masculine. However, on the masculine side, the male gaze is very logical. It's very straightforward. See, as men, that's how we communicate. That's how we interact with other men. And so sometimes we're blinded by our own masculinity. And because of that, we naturally tend to operate in a male gaze. Also, the male gaze appeals to the male hobbies and interests. That jump flex photo, that's going to appeal to mostly men. And we're going to get into some more examples of exactly what I'm talking about. And then also the male gaze just is very hyper masculine. A lot of guys have the confusion that more masculine equals more attraction to women, but that's not the case whatsoever. And this is how I hacked the system because I understood female psychology. I understood how to elicit positive emotion. Though I am a masculine man, I still know how to present that softer side to me. Now we have some examples here, and these are two fairly attractive guys. The one on the left is, I would argue, just as ripped as the guy on the right. However, one operates in the female gaze and the other operates mostly attracting men. And when I say attracting men, I'm not only talking about attracting straight men. The thing about the male gaze is that it also attracts the other type of men, if you know what I mean. And you might think, like, how is that possible? Well, simple. The guy on the left has an effortless flex, even though he is muscular. The gym bro, he has a shaker cup, the hat backwards, like he looks like your stereotypical Chad gym bro. I guarantee you, if I was to show 100 women these pictures, they will be way more inclined to go with the guy on the left. Now, you might be thinking, Austin, I'm not super attractive. You don't have to be super attractive for this to work. And I'm going to show you exactly how if you stick with me. But before that, also, I'm going to give this example right here. Me on the left, the G-Wagon, and in a nice environment when I was in Switzerland versus Mr. Wes Watson here, who is veined up, super muscular with the Lamborghini. Which one is going to appeal more to women versus men? Of course, the exotic cars, the hyper masculine, super muscular, bald, big beard, that's going to appeal to men. However, my picture, the classy luxury, is going to mostly appeal to women. Not to mention, women love Mercedes and G-Wagons. This goes into, once again, understanding female psychology and what they actually respond to. A lot of guys think that getting a Lamborghini is going to make them more attracted to women. But I promise you, if you was to get that E-Class, S-Class Mercedes, that Maybach, or even that G-Class, you're going to have a lot more women coming to you than a Lambo ever would. In order to really understand the female gaze, all you got to do is really ask yourself this one question is, how would Disney portray their prince? One thing about the female gaze is sometimes they'll say that it's almost as if the guy was designed by a woman or drawn by a woman. And when we think of Disney princes, outside of their behavior, physically, they really appealed to women. And so all you gotta do is ask yourself, am I portraying myself in a way that a Disney prince would? Now, I wrote here that you wanna be a wolf in sheep's clothing because sometimes you might misconstrue the Disney prince analogy as also I should act like one, your behavior, and we don't want that because when you appeal to the female gaze in terms of your behavior, this is where you become weak. So basically what you want to do is appeal to the external of the female viewpoint. However, internally through our behaviors, we still want to showcase masculine traits, leadership, or quote unquote alpha traits, even though that word you're not allowed to use anymore, but you guys know exactly what I mean. Now let's actually go ahead and get into the profile breakdown. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you every single picture that I'll have on Hinge and tell you what it actually elicits from the female gaze standpoint. So this first picture right here, which is a recent picture I took, it's a candid portrait. Now, what's the female appeal about this, and why did I choose it for my first picture? Up first, it's a sincere smirk. So something about the male gaze too is that when you actually go to pose for a picture or your facial expression, it's very mean, it's very angry. You can be dressed nice, but if you don't get the right facial expression, you're still gonna attract women, even if you look the part. So I have a sincere smirk. Squint, very, very soft smile. Women love this. Also, coffee. Everything about this was very strategic. I got a coffee. I was holding it because I know women love iced coffee. Men love hot coffee. You see how I'm really using my curation of my pictures to really understand and showcase what women find attractive? This was not by accident. Also, I have very tasteful style. I'm not dressed really showing crazy high amounts of sex appeal or muscularity or even my tattoos. Now, yes, I've done the work on myself. I made myself attractive, and that definitely does help out. But I guarantee you, if I was to post a gym mirror flex versus this picture, there would be a massive difference. Now, if we get into picture two, and honestly, this is one of my favorite pictures I've taken so far, and this is a candid portrait. And the female appeal about this is we have a genuine smile. And so whenever you do take pictures or out on your photo shoot, a forced smile, unless you have a really nice smile, can come off insincere and really not genuine. So when I was taking this, I was actually laughing. I was smiling because somebody said something funny, and I had a photographer, he was capturing pictures. So that's the reason why it has that appeal. Now, in the past, I have said that you don't want to be too smiley. And here's the thing, you don't want to have a goofy smile. There's a difference between a genuine, classy smile or even a sincere smirk versus a goofy, big tooth smile. And then also, I have the Prince Charming style. I call this a sexy semi-formal, where I have the white button down, the gray slacks. It literally looks like I'm about to pick them up from their tower that they've been locked in for years, guarded by a dragon. I look like the Prince Charming that they envision in their dreams, and that was curated through my style. Very, very subtle flex is the luxury aspect. Cartier Santos. That's going to be a lot more appealing to women than, let's say, an AP or a Patek. Maybe it's just me. I tend to actually like things that tend to lean a little bit more towards a female appeal. So I credit that to just my personality. However, it's the little things that might go a long way, such as watches. Now, up here we got picture number 3, and this is also a candid portrait. So far, I have not looked at the camera at all. And the female appeal towards this is that we're now in a nice environment, a nice restaurant. If you could add this style of picture to your dating app profiles, it's going to do you wonders. Next time you go out to a white tablecloth restaurant or any nice restaurant with a nice view, get somebody to take a picture of you. If it's dark, have the flash on, but you basically want her to envision what it's like to actually be on a date with you. And that's exactly what this picture is doing. Also, I'm not sure if you can notice, but it's a bit of an effortless flex. I mean, I'm just holding my phone and you can see the striations, the veins. And I would say that does lean more masculine in terms of body aesthetics. But the fact that it just looks so effortless and you can literally just see that I'm lean, that I'm fit, and also I'm accessorized well, this definitely has a strong female appeal to it. And I actually posted this on my Instagram and it got a crazy amount of likes, which I also use that as data to see what will work well on my dating apps. Now at picture number 4, we have a smiling one. I took this when I was on vacation, and we notice here that the background isn't crazy. Honestly, my outfit really isn't that well. I'm just using what I have to my advantage, and I know that I have a nice smile. I know that I can show a genuine, sincere smile. And so because I practice this, I can use this to really, really appeal to the women. We're not going to only go over pictures. We're also going to get into the prompts here soon, but we're almost done with the pictures. And I'm going to show you just a few more of how I really did this. And up next, we have, once again, a smiling portrait, also showcasing a genuine smile. And then we got a bit of luxury, plus the Prince Charming style that I mentioned before. I'm telling you, if you just change one of these things to your pictures, you're going to notice a huge, huge difference in terms of women finding it appealing to them. So we got the nice Miami background, high rise, smile, and it just makes everything so perfect. Like, this is a great picture of myself. Now, you might be surprised about this, but this is something that I call the high status filler. And as we see here, the appeal in terms of women is going to be the Mercedes. We got the Mercedes logo, and then also travel. I'm clearly in some type of place that is not Florida. Thing is, I did not have to fake this. This is completely genuine. You guys might have saw the vlog, but I was genuinely on this trip. And so I was able to capture that moment and use it to my advantage. You understand that also every picture does not have to be of yourself. You can strategically use these high status fillers in order to spark more appeal about yourself and make a more cohesive profile. All right, so those were the pictures. Now let's actually get into the prompts. Now, prompts is where you can also still appeal to the female gaze outside of just your image. Now we're actually using bits of our personality, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. So the first one, we'll get along if you prefer wine over liquor. Liquor is masculine. Brandy, rum, whiskey. Women like tequila, but it still leans masculine because it's liquor. And also vodka is definitely really masculine. However, what do women like? Women like martinis and wine. I have never met a woman who didn't appreciate a nice espresso martini alongside with a red wine. It just doesn't happen. And so with me understanding that, I purposely said and framed my prompt to attract women who like wine or who prefer wine, which is going to be like 90% of women. Also, as we see here, we actually got a nice reply from Sydney. She said, I love a good cab, but an occasional tequila can be fun. Boom. So I told you, women also do like tequila, but nonetheless, I was able to get a response off this, and this has been a really good performer for me because I understand the female psychology behind liquor, which is crazy, right? You would think that the female gaze doesn't operate in almost every aspect, but the truth is, it really does. Now, up next, we got together we could do leg day without hip thrust. Now, you might be thinking, why didn't you say with hip thrust? Because women want to work on their booty, they want to, go to the gym, and they usually do hip thrusts. I understand that. I know that they will be inclined to reply to this because that is something they would like to do. So they will say, why not? Or we're definitely doing hip thrusts. Basically, I'm sparking emotion, but I'm still understanding what they like to do. And this is in a gym context. Also, I go crazy for women who order dessert. I personally have found that a lot of women have a sweet tooth, be it sweets or candy, whatever it may be. And so me having this prompt, in which I've used this one for years, has definitely attracted more women than saying any other logical masculine thing. This really just makes sense. I go crazy for women who order dessert. Here's the truth, guys, is that you can actually do this too. It doesn't matter your age. I've worked with guys who are in their 30s, who are in their 40s, who are in their 50s, and they still all apply this. In fact, I have somebody I work with here who's in his early 30s. I told him to change the prompt, and he's telling me the glass of red wine prompt has been working wonders. Also, my other client here, Philip, he says he got his first comment on Hinge and many more to come. As we see, we took that flash restaurant picture. How did we do this? We understood female psychology and used multiple attraction triggers to get her to open him first. Then also, even with photo selection, you can still do your photo shoot, but sometimes guys still pick the wrong ones because they don't understand what women actually like. So as we see here, another client of mine, he said, Austin, I used the pictures you told me to use. Literally, I had 2 girls open me, and it's been like 2 days. It's crazy. The ones you picked, I like the least. Most men still operate within that male gaze. They don't understand what women actually like, what women actually find attractive. I've been on hundreds of dates. I've interacted and communicated with women across all cultures and backgrounds. I understand what every single woman likes. It doesn't matter their age range because guess what? All women are the same. The woman who's 25 versus the woman who's 45, guess what? They both like red wine. They both are usually into the same things. They both usually still want things that emotionally appeal to them. So if you are a guy and you want more personal help, you want to work one-on-one with me so that we actually help you appeal more to the women, be it your photos, be it your style and presentation, be it your look, be it your prompts, be it your whole online dating setup, then click the link down below. Let's schedule a free strategy call of how we can actually do this for you so that you can start getting the results that you actually want, and also so that you can stop appealing only to men. All right? I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.